Hey, what's up, everyone? Back for this Tuesday slate. We got a nice slate of games for today. Let's get right into it. You can drop a like and subscribe down below before we get started. Pitcher today, we have a couple of guys above 10,000 with Zach Wheeler, Berrios, and Kershaw. Out of those three, my favorite is probably Zach Wheeler, just based on price tag and matchup, and then Kershaw. And I'm not going to have interest in Berrios against the Braves. I think you can go down to Greinke if you want. And if you're looking for cheap pitchers, we have a couple that look pretty good, like Zach Plesac at 7,700. Think's a fine play. Him and maybe Arrieta at only 6,200 is pretty cheap, and definitely Chase Anderson at just 6,000, and maybe Cashner as well. So you definitely have some cheap pitchers that you can look at. I'm going to go with Zach Wheeler as my first guy. The Mets are an absolute roll right now. They've won 11 of 12 games. They're back over 500 after they were terrible the first half of the season. But they are on a groove right now. Everything's going right for them. So facing the Marlins, they should have some success here. If you're a betting man, I would take the Mets here in this one. Zach Wheeler's been pitching pretty well. Over 20 in 5 of his last 6 starts. Great matchup here against this righty-heavy Marlins team. Wheeler can dominate this team. He's coming off a couple of good outings against this team earlier this year. Goes pretty deep into games. He pitches over 100 pitches when he's pitching well. And at 10-6, he definitely has the upside to pay off the salary. And then I'm going with 6K Chase Anderson here. He's been pitching well this season. Lots of been pretty consistent, not getting blown up. ERA is under 4. Averaging just under a strikeout per inning. Pitching on the road, it's a huge ballpark upgrade for him compared to pitching in Miller Park, which is a home run park. Pitching in Pittsburgh against a Pittsburgh team that's struggling big time right now, I think Anderson can have a decent game. All I'm looking for out of him at this price tag is like 15 to 20. And his price tag took a big hit after he was 75 and 7,900 his last couple starts. So this matchup's pretty good, even though they don't strike out a ton, but he's not a huge strikeout pitcher. I think he's going to pitch like 5-6 innings and put up like 15 to 17. Well, I haven't projected for like 17 DraftKings points, but he can probably get up to like 20 if he's pitching well. So those are the two guys I like at pitcher. And today with the stacks, we have a couple teams that really stick out. Love the Padres stack here facing LeBlanc and this terrible bullpen of the Mariners. The Padres have an insane amount of power against left-handed pitching. That power went down a little bit with the trade of Reyes, but they still have power with Renfroe is amazing against lefties at 4,400. If Margot's batting second, I love him at 37. Tatis Machado, especially Machado against lefties, is a great play. If you want a very cheap second baseman, you got it with Urías at just 2,700. So I love the Padres today. You got so much power and you get so much flexibility with their lineup. So I love them, and I love the Indians a lot against Guardo. Indians have a lot of power. Guardo's been getting very lucky this year. He should be getting blown up in most of his starts. I think the Indians can definitely do that. They don't strike out much as a team. They put the ball in play, and they have a ton of power, and they will run. And the Rangers have probably the worst catcher at throwing out runners in Jeff Mathis if he's playing, or if it's Fedorowicz. But whoever it is, they can't throw out runners. And this Indians team does like to steal with Lindor and Ramirez. Then you got a nice price tag on Yasiel Puig at 44. You got Franmil Reyes at only 41. Love the Indian stack as well. And besides those couple stacks, I think looking at maybe some Cubs, depending on if this is going to be a win game or not. But either way, I like some of the prices on the Cubs. Castellanos against lefties is always a great play, especially when he's only 3,700 on DraftKings. I like him, and I love Baez, given his numbers against lefties. So those are my two favorite plays on the Cubs. And let's get into it. First up, we're going to talk about, it's going to be third base with Manny Machado. Only 4,400 for Machado. Love the price tag with him. If you look at his numbers against lefties, they are amazing. Show you the numbers here. He's also playing on the road, so it's always a little bit of a ballpark upgrade when you get out of San Diego. This season against lefties, Machado is batting .392 with 10 bombs and just 79 at-bats. On the road, he's also batting .306. And against lefties, he has a .430 ISO to go with an .823 slugging percentage. Just mashing the ball, 54% hard hit rate and a 32% fly ball rate. And LeBlanc also gives up a ton of power. If you look at LeBlanc here, he has an ERA above 5. He has given up multiple home runs in a lot of his starts, up to 19 home runs in just 87 innings. Not a strikeout pitcher either. So really like Machado here. Should be able to do some damage, hopefully. At shortstop, I'll probably go to Javier Baez at 5,000. Lots of good options at shortstop today. I love Lindor. I love Tatis. I love Baez. Tough to pick your favorite. But I will go with Baez just because he's been really hot as of late. His numbers against lefties are amazing. And Brett Anderson, whenever he's been in Oakland, outside of Oakland, he's always kind of struggled. Although this year he's been decent. But he's been giving up some more home runs to righties. Baez mashes lefties with a .333 average. He does steal bases too. He has taken 6 bases against left-handed pitching. And he has 8 home runs and just 84 at-bats. At home, he's been crushing it with a .320 average and 15 of his 28 home runs. Love Baez today. Also facing a pitcher that doesn't strike out guys. And Brett Anderson doesn't strike people out. Barely, especially righties. And Baez is a heavy strikeout hitter. So great chance to put the ball in play as he has a 30% K rate against lefties. But he also has a .369 ISO. So good day for him to probably add to that ISO number. As he should be able to put the ball in play, and he's been hitting the ball really well over his past couple games. So we got a ton of power with Machado and Baez. Let's continue that with Renfroe. Renfroe, I believe, is leading the majors in home runs per at-bat because he hasn't been playing every day, but he has 30 home runs. That's pretty crazy. He has like a home run in just over 10-point-something at-bats, which is really, really impressive. And today, great chance to add to that total against lefties. He has been a lefty killer since he's come into the league. This season, it's been the same way. .263 average, 11 bombs, and just 80 at-bats. Also on the road, he has 18 of his 30 home runs. A .475 ISO against lefties. Just an 18% K rate. 53% fly ball rate and a 53% hard hit rate for Renfroe. Love it. I'll show you the numbers for LeBlanc. We also know the Mariners give up a ton of home runs out of their bullpen. So just love the Padres. They always usually go under-owned, especially when they're the last game and there's a bunch of other teams in front of them. But LeBlanc's been struggling against lefties and righties this season. Righties 5.34 xFIP against him. So I feel the Padres are in for at least a decent night. And then I'm going to go with Yasiel Puig here at 4,400. Like the price tag on him. Love the Indian stack too. If you can, I'm definitely going to do my best to fit in some of the Indians. They struggled yesterday, but they still have a lot of upside. And Puig has been taking a lot of bases lately. He's up to 16 stolen bases on the season. And if he gets on base, he can definitely run on this Texas backstop and definitely can run on Eduardo. So show the numbers for him. For Eduardo this year, he's getting pretty lucky as his numbers aren't terrible if you just look at it on the surface. But he has 9 home runs given up to righties. He's given up a .308 average and a .533 slugging to righties. He has xFIP is at 4.3 against righties. It's at 5.55 to lefties. His strikeouts are a little up against righties, but he's still giving up a lot of hard hits with the 41% hard hit rate. And Puig has been batting cleanup since he's been on Indian, so definitely gets a lot of upside there. So yeah, that's what I like for this slate. We got Anderson Wheeler with a lot of power bats, which is what I always like to get power hitters in my lineup. We got 4 tremendous power hitters. And then, like I said, I love some of the other teams, like fill it out with some more Indians, some more Padres, probably a couple Cubs. Castellanos is a great play. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Drop a like if you enjoyed, and good luck today.